deposits. So speleothems, cave deposits. Speleology, the study of caves. Speleogenesis, the beginning, the birth of the cave, how it may have all come about, which we'll talk about later. But most people come to see the decoration. This all comes about in a very simple manner. There are three main ingredients: water, carbon dioxide, and calcite, and maybe a fourth, lots of time. Water on the surface, like carbon dioxide from the atmosphere above, and this makes the water slightly acidic, kind of like a soda pop without the fizz. And that acidic water passes through cracks in the surrounding bedrock layer above us. This is called dolomite. Dolomite and limestone are very soft, soluble rock. They'll dissolve easily in acidic water. So that's where you find most of your cave systems throughout the world, is in that type of rock structure. But anyway, the water will work its way down through to the cave, and along the way it will dissolve some of the surrounding rock matrix. And there's a lot of something called calcite within the rock, within the dolomite, and it dissolves that, brings it into the cave. On contact with the cave air, the calcite precipitates out of the water. It crystallizes in a lot of different and wild and wonderful shapes and forms. Stalactites hang tight to the ceiling, and they generally start out as drip tubes or soda straws. When a drip of water drops away from the ceiling, it leaves a bit of a calcite ring on the ceiling, and that'll grow down and form a drip tube or soda straw. Very hollow, straw-like structures, very delicate. Eventually they plug though, and when the central canal plugs up, water and calcite builds up on the outside of the soda straw, and this thickens them into these carrot-like stalactites. You see so much of it here. You can see thousands. Sometimes they'll group together, like they are starting to do here, and they'll eventually kind of grow together to create what looks like folds of cloth hanging from the ceiling. We call them dripstone draperies. Some of you, when you were looking underneath that bridge over there on the opposite side, there's a piece of drapery hanging down the opposite side. And when we go up this trail here, you're going to get a good look at it from up above. But there's lots of that in there also. When that water hits the floor, it'll leave enough calcite behind to give rise to stalagmites. They come in all shapes and sizes. We've lit up one of the biggest and best in this corner of the cave. When a mite grows up to reach a tight or a drapery growing down, they'll form columns or pillars. You can see some examples on the slope we passed by. Those are basic dripstone forms. We also have a lot of flowstone in here, and just by the names, the way that what the names imply, the only real difference is the way they're formed. Dripstone, flowstone is just water flowing down a slope or down a vertical wall like back here. And it spreads out in these thin sheets of calcite crystal, and those build layer after layer after layer to create thick flowstone, kind of like the pages of a book. All right, so there's some basics there. Anybody have any questions before?